Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1, and look, the game of the weekend ends with a Liverpool win at Anfield because they were too strong. Too strong in mind, too strong on the pitch. When you look at the game, Liverpool at Anfield actually played a tactical game of chess. They gave up possession to hit Chelsea on the break, and Chelsea with more of the ball couldn't break down Liverpool's strong defence. They were just too strong for them today. Liverpool have only conceded 3 goals in 8 Premier League games. It won't get mentioned, but that's absolutely incredible. They are literally hardly conceding any goals. Chelsea, I think we'll talk about them in a moment. I wouldn't read too much into that result. I still think they can have a good season. They've probably just been to one of the hardest places to go this season, probably against the team that's going to fight Man City for the title. So a 2-1 loss at Anfield may not be a bad result for Chelsea, even though they'll be disappointed. But I think the difference really is that one defence was stronger than the other. And you would expect that at Anfield. But also I think one attack was stronger than the other as well. I think Salah, Jota, Nunez, Diaz, Gakpo were just a little bit more experienced and lethal than that of Chelsea. But it was a game of few chances. And for the brilliance of Curtis Jones, who would be my man of the match, involved in everything. And let's not forget, probably his biggest impact in the first half was the block on Cole Palmer, which he probably would have scored. So it's not just about the penalty incidents and the goals that Curtis Jones was a massive part of for Liverpool going forward. Defensively, he did his work, and he's getting better and better all the time. But also, I think from Chelsea's point of view, your best player for me, you could argue that Lavia did well and Caicedo did well. Spoiler, Neto. I thought Neto was brilliant. I thought Madueke in the first half looked your better winger, but when Neto came on, instantly was on a level differently to Jadon Sancho. So I think that Chelsea have got so many options, it's almost like finding the right 11. But I think if Neto's fit, you need to get him in the team because he does make things happen and he was causing Liverpool problems for about 20 minutes. But yeah, a very interesting approach. And I think if you're a Chelsea fan, you've got to look at that and say, whatever you think about your future and whatever you think about your past, you have got a manager that is getting a system out of your players. Now, whether that system's going to be successful or not, well, it's already more successful than last season. You are a team hovering around the top 4 who have already earned the respect that you are in that top 4 race, which is progression. The style of play is respected. Arne respected it. They were willing to counter it at home against Chelsea, who they obviously respected with the ball. I think the issue with Chelsea and the issue with Leicester a little bit last season was, possession, good, chance creation, not always as good. That's what Leicester fans were saying last season, who were critics of Maresca. But that's something that, this isn't Leicester, this is Chelsea, and I think it's worked really well for them. When they were away at West Ham a few weeks ago, it was quite an equal game. Chelsea got to counter more being away from home, and they're very clinical when they can counter. Liverpool were alive to that. I don't think Liverpool today wanted to put themselves in a situation where they had 60% of the ball and let Chelsea counter them. So I thought Arne Slot's approach today was very, very mature and clever in the fact that he said, look, I don't mind Chelsea having the ball. I want to counter them. I don't want to be countered. I think the team who counters better will win this game. And Liverpool as the home team, you would have thought that might be Chelsea. So I think that Chelsea were willing to play higher up. They were willing to leave space in behind. And Liverpool weren't really looking to do that. In fact, one of the times they did do that, they conceded at the start of the second half. So I think as well, Chelsea's defence was just a little bit naive. They're younger. I think Chelsea only had 2 players over 24, and it probably will show for a bit. Defensively, obviously you're looking at that Liverpool defence with Trent and Van Dijk and Robertson in it, and it's experienced. You look at that Chelsea defence, Reece James hardly plays, but I'm more specifically talking about Tosin and Colwill. Tosin could have been sent off. If Saliba was sent off yesterday, you could argue he could have been sent off. But Colwill, on the penalty, he's just done a debatable, maybe soft penalty on Salah that wasn't given, and then he's putting another silly tackle in the box. It was always going to get given, and I just think that Chelsea, you could get at them a little bit more. And obviously, when they equalise at the start of the second half, you silence the home crowd. What you don't want to do is concede, and they concede playing an offside trap to catch people like Darwin Nunez and the forwards. But they don't realise that a midfielder could run from deep, like Curtis Jones does, in fact, fantastically well, breaks the offside trap and scores. That's disappointing from Chelsea to be doing that. I think at that point, defend the cross. Playing an offside trap on the edge of your penalty box when you've just made it 1-1. I know managers work on systems and they want to keep systems, but really I'm looking at that and I'm saying, look, let's not concede for the next 5 minutes. Don't play an offside trap on the edge of your box because things like that could happen. So, but I think looking at the game as a whole, Liverpool go to Arsenal next week now. Massive game for Arsenal, massive game for Liverpool, but Liverpool are back on top. It's been a fantastic start to their season, and they would take that win after an international break. If people want to give Chelsea plaudits and say they had more of the ball, great. You'd rather win the game, and it's job done for Liverpool. From Chelsea's point of view, yeah, you look at Newcastle next week and you say, if we win that, our season's still heading in the direction we think it is. We don't expect to be in a title race. We don't expect to be fighting with Man City, Arsenal and Chelsea. We're looking at Villa. We're looking at 4th place. Beat Newcastle next week, keep the momentum going and get back on the training ground this week and use the positives of this is probably where we are as a football club at the moment. We are a bit inexperienced compared to Liverpool. Our attack is inexperienced compared to Liverpool and so is our defence. We know that. We're going to work on that. We're going to become more experienced and we're going to continue on our path. And a 2-1 loss in what was quite a tight game with few chances, Chelsea just need to take the positives out of that. And I'm sure they will do as well. The title race, look, Liverpool are up there at the moment. They've got Arsenal next week. And then I think they've got Brighton and Aston Villa. If they can come out of the next few games, top of the league or within 2 points or 3 points of Man City, then I think they probably are going to be. We've got to wait till next week, but I'm starting to get the feeling that Liverpool are going to be the title contender this year. What that means for Arsenal, well, we're going to talk about that on the live podcast from the Goldbridge Arms tomorrow at 12, so join us for that. But we're talking Liverpool here. More and more, I still think Man City will win the league, and I think incidents like today will help Man City win the league even easier. But who will be second place? At the moment, it looks like Liverpool. Arsenal showing their vulnerabilities in relation to capability of dealing without key players. They've had a few red cards. Obviously, that's not helped them massively. They've dropped a lot of points this season because of red cards. You could say probably 5 points when you think about Brighton, Man City, and now Bournemouth. But Arsenal at the moment are showing vulnerabilities, whereas Liverpool, under their new manager, are showing hunger and potential and excitement. So at the moment, Liverpool look like the side that are going to be the one that challenges Man City, in my thoughts. Anyway, get your comments in below. Make sure you smash a like on the video. I would say man of the match, Curtis Jones. I thought he was involved in everything today. For Chelsea, I was very impressed with Neto in the second half. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Get yours in. Smash a like on the video and subscribe. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow at midday. I'll speak to you all in a bit.